I would say there's at least a dozen LAPD officers that are commuting, if not more now. I've kind of lost track with that life. But I know there's a lot of firefighters, and that's only because their schedules allow for that.
Los Angeles police officers and firefighters commuting from California to Idaho. Talk about a super commute. And for many in those professions, it's a common commute. So I caught up with two people who did that commute for 2 years. Take a look.
Kind of fell in love with the Eagle area, specifically Dry Creek Ranch.
Chris Yokoyama's love of Idaho started with a camping trip.
We camped in the High Valley RV Resort in near Eagle.
Born and raised in Long Beach, California.
I thought it was pretty.
Chris says until the pandemic, when he and his family first visited, he never realized how close Idaho is to California. That realization, mixed with a new interest in the gem state, turned into a new adventure for Chris's family.
And then I just started the commute.
A commute that had the captain with the Los Angeles City Fire Department flying from California to Idaho.
I was commuting every week, and then it turned out that there were several of us actually commuting every week.
He did that commute for 2 years until he and his family moved back to Long Beach about 7 months ago.
And it was great while it lasted, and then we decided to move back because my wife wanted to homeschool the kids.
I commuted here in 2020. My wife and kids and I moved from Los Angeles, California to the great state of Idaho.
Caldwell Police Chief Rex Ingram also made that same commute for 2 years. He would work 4 days and have 3 days off, and sometimes he would stack his days.
So out of a 28-day deployment period, I was able to work like 7 days straight and then take a week off. In those 2 years, I met several people on the airplane, here at school, dropping off my kids at school. I'm like, oh, that guy looks familiar. I think he's or she's a police officer.
He says rather than spend 4 hours in traffic,
So I was living in a place called Lancaster, California, which is about 85 miles north of where I was actually working.
he chose to fly.
To me, that was a win-win, and then I could actually see my kids and have quality time with my family. I wanted a place for my kids to be safe, so for me, I just couldn't allow myself to sacrifice my entire life for the city of LA, but have my kids being on the back burner, and so I did it for my family.
While Chief Ingram says he was making more money in Los Angeles, he was also paying taxes in both states.
It was tough, you know, and I had to really budget and save, put things away for certain California and Idaho taxes. The reality is I'm spending my money here, right, in Idaho, in the gem state.
When I first started doing it, it was almost like $56 to fly one way, which you know is the cost just to drive in sometimes, especially with the fuel prices here in LA, even versus the fuel prices in Idaho. You do get a bang for your buck. You know, you're paying the same amount, but now you're flying 800 miles away into a whole other state where when you get home, you can just let it all go. Where here, you're always kind of on guard because, you know, it's LA and you just kind of have to be just because the rat race that's going on around here.
Chief Ingram says he wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of his family, but it was almost like living a double life.
I'm getting off the airplane in Los Angeles in La La Land, and I'm going to work, and it's just shootings and perimeters and pursuits and news and just the TMZ life and the hustle and bustle. And then I get on an airplane and I fall asleep for an hour and 20 minutes and I wake up and it's like, oh, I'm on vacation now. The people that are commuting are here for a reason. They're here because they want to be part of this community. And if they're willing to risk or sacrifice their time with their family away and to go make ends meet because the conditions in California are so unbearable and they're first responders, then give them the respect that they deserve.
As for Chris, he says his family may revisit the idea of moving back to Idaho down the road. For now, though,
you know, we ran with it for 2 years. It was great, good experience, and no regrets.
and as you heard there are so many people who are still doing this. I've reached out to some of them, but they didn't feel comfortable talking with me. All right, we'll be right back.